The playoff field is set. All 12 teams, the dust has settled. The regular season is now over. 162 games complete. 161 games for a couple, but other than that, 162 game season is now over with. 2023 is done with. Now we get into the fun stuff, right? Now we get into the fun stuff. The Major League Baseball postseason starts literally tomorrow, so I got to get this out today, predicting my bracket of the postseason. Here we are, it's October baseball, now the best time of the year, and may the best team win to raise the Commissioner's Trophy. It's going to be simultaneously here on the screen. I'm going to talk about the series as we go. We are going to start off in the American League. American League bracket, Baltimore Orioles and the Houston Astros have the bye seeds. It is going to be the 4-seed Tampa Bay Rays hosting 5-seed Texas Rangers. So, if you guys told me, I told you guys time and time again, the Astros were going to win that division. And guess what? They won the division. They won it on the last day of the regular season. It's just what champions do. Champions find ways to win, and the Astros found a way to win the division via bye seed. They're going to host the division series. And so that means the Rangers fell into the 5 bracket. I mean, they just kind of flopped in there out of nowhere. Tough luck for the Rangers, but they did make the postseason, so that's big for them. And now they face a tough Rays team that, it's really just, quiet business. Just going about their business, playing great baseball as they always do year in and year out. All 3 games will be hosted at Tropicana Field. I have a hard time picking against the Rays in this matchup. I would like to the Rangers win, but I just... Again, I have a hard time picking against the Tampa Bay Rays in this matchup, so I'm going to go with Tampa this matchup. I just think the pitching is too much for them. The Ranger offense, if it gets hot, they can go really far. I think the Rays are just a little bit more of a balanced team, especially with the bullpen, so I'm going to go Tampa Bay for Texas in the Wild Card Series. So Tampa Bay will go on to face Baltimore. In the other American League matchup, we have the American League Central champion Minnesota Twins taking on 6-seeded Toronto Blue Jays. So the Blue Jays got in. They should have got in, according to the preseason rankings. Blue Jays made it in. Now they face a Minnesota team that has not won a playoff game in quite a long time. And so it's a little 3-game series. It's going to be taking place at Target Field. I really want to hedge Twins here, but I have a hard time picking Minnesota. It's kind of like a... show me something, show me otherwise, right? You know what I'm saying? Show me that you can do it, and then I could pick you maybe the next round. But until then, I'm going to stick with Toronto. I think Toronto gets it done. They have the pitching, they have the offense to compete with Minnesota. So for that reason, I'm going to pick Toronto, and they will go on to face the Houston Astros in the American League Division Series. Now we go on to the National League side of things, the National League bracket side of things, where we have the Braves and Dodgers as the bye seeds. 4-seeded Philadelphia Phillies will host the Miami Marlins over at CBP. They will be in the primetime slot, by the way, 5 o'clock games. Marlins, Phillies, a divisional matchup. Marlins playing some pretty good baseball, some pretty inspiring baseball, right? Phillies, kind of a low-key juggernaut. Everybody knows they're good. They're just in a division with the Braves, so that's kind of why they're second place wild card. Phillies, Marlins. Listen, the Marlins could easily go in there and shock everyone. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. That's probably how it's going to play out. But I'm gonna go Phillies. I just believe there's too much firepower there for them to really just lose that series. I know the Phillies went to St. Louis last year and kind of shocked the Cardinals, but they're not. The Marlins are not going to shock the Phillies like that. The Phillies are just too well-rounded, so I'm going to take Philadelphia in that matchup. They will face the Atlanta Braves in the division series. The 6-seeded Arizona Diamondbacks go into Milwaukee. National League Central champion Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers and D-backs. The D-backs kind of fooling everybody, I believe. Maybe it's just my way of thinking, but really feel like D-backs, they just went on an utterly cold streak. This continues. Really sad and unfortunate. They just kind of go out without a whimper. But I think the D-backs are switch here. They're going to play good baseball. They were playing good baseball for us last week. They're going to go into Milwaukee, and I think they will, in fact, defeat the Brewers in that series to go on to the NLDS. So I'm going to take the Diamondbacks over the Brewers, and they will face my Dodgers. Back up to the American League now. So we got the DS set, Rays and Orioles, Blue Jays and Astros. Rays and O's, so another divisional matchup here. Tampa and Baltimore. It's going to be a good series, but I just feel like the Orioles having a great season, and I think that continues here in the division series. I think they can make it to the championship series. There's a little bit too much for the Rays to handle. Baltimore taking that series. Astros and Blue Jays, again, I talked about the champions part of things and how their experience comes into play. The Blue Jays, kind of riding hot. They're going to be kind of pumped up to face the Astros. But again, the Astros just have it on lock. The Astros have the American League on lock, I believe. And so I think the Astros will defeat the Toronto Blue Jays and go to the ALCS. My American League Championship Series includes the Astros and the Orioles, the top 2 seeds, but I think they are the best 2 teams in the American League. The National League, Phillies and the Braves, and the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers. A couple of divisional matchups here. Phillies, Braves, it's going to be a great series. So, of course, the Braves lost to the Phillies last year. They have to be ready for revenge, right? I mean, if they're not ready for revenge, if they're not up for these games, if they somehow get beat in these games, it's going to be some eye looking around Atlanta. I'm going to take the Braves. They have just been an absolute steamroll all year long. I think the Braves get it done this season and go to the CS. And the D-backs and the Dodgers. So this is like, listen, when this matchup does happen, which I believe it will, I'm just getting 2022 vibes. Like, oh, so it's the D-backs. You know, we own the Diamondbacks, whatever. Listen, I'm not there. I'm very keen-eyed about this. Like, I'm not fully confident that they're just going to roll over the Diamondbacks and sweep them like they did in 2017. Totally different circumstances, totally different team. I believe the Dodgers and Diamondbacks could go 5 games. I think it could, and I think it probably will. And so, for that reason, I'm going to take the Dodgers. Probably because I'm a little bit biased there, but I'm going to take the Dodgers. But I would not be shocked if the D-backs upset LA. Just throwing it out there right now, I wouldn't be shocked. I expect the Dodgers to get it done. If they don't get it done against the Diamondbacks, there's got to be changes around here. So I'm going to take the Dodgers over Arizona. Dodgers, Braves, NLCS. Orioles, Astros, ALCS. So I'm taking the top seeds, top dogs. I know probably not gonna play out this way, but you know what? I think these are the best teams, obviously. And there's gonna be a Cinderella team in there. This could play out, and it's gonna be a great series. I think these are gonna be a phenomenal series if they in fact do happen. Up to the American League, the Astros and the Orioles. Just been on Houston all year. They were my preseason picks to go to the World Series out of the American League, and I'm gonna stick with that pick out of the American League to go back to the World Series. Houston does beat Baltimore to go back to the series yet again. I think they are the team of the decade. I mean, how many World Series of trips, how many pennants have they have now? I mean, it's ridiculous. So I think Houston does go back to the series. They edge out Baltimore. They find ways to win, I believe, in the end. On the National League side of things, no, I will not pick the Dodgers in this series. The series does in fact happen. It's going to be all about the Braves. For a good reason, the Braves are going to be the favorites. Usually you're kind of used to LA being the favorites in series, but the Braves are going to be heavy favorites, I believe, in this series. Atlanta and LA. So and for good reason. So with that being said, I'm going to take the Braves. Dodgers, they could get hot, they could get really cold. They're a streaky team, believe it or not, in my opinion. It just depends on what team shows up. Roberts can manage the bullpen. We've seen his bullpen mismanagement many times over. Can he do it again? Can he handle the ship here and ride the ship? Other than that, the Braves are just too complete. But I do worry about Atlanta's back end of the bullpen and their rotation. In deeper series, I kind of do wonder about that. But just be on the lookout for that. Even then, I still think the Braves are the deepest team going into the postseason. So I'm going to take the Braves over the Dodgers. I have a rematch of the 2021 World Series. I got the Astros and the Braves meeting up yet again in the Fall Classic. Yet again, the Atlanta Braves to win the World Series. So they beat the Astros 21. The Astros are going to fall yet again to the Braves. I think the Astros are good enough to get to the World Series, but they're not good enough to win it in the series. Some around, I do have the Braves winning it yet again over the Astros, and I have shown all season long they are the best team in baseball. See how this ages. It could age like milk. It could age like fine wine. I don't know, but it's just prediction, all in good fun. With that being said, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. I got the Astros and the Braves in the World Series. I got Atlanta winning that series in 6 games over the Houston Astros. Just for fun, I have my preseason predictions that I had there, just kind of going over what I had. You guys could kind of take a look at that if you want. Pause the video. That is my original predictions. I got 6 out of 12 teams correct that are currently in the playoffs. So not bad, not great. That could be worse. It could be a lot better. 6 out of 12. I think the biggest surprise was definitely the Miami Marlins, and the biggest disappointment was the Padres. That being said, y'all, I'm going to sign off. I do appreciate y'all for tuning in. We'll talk to you guys again next time. Later.